getting started here to get live on all our streaming. We're live on TikTok. Gonna go live on our other social medias. Here we are. Okay. So we are live on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook here for another question and answer session. I'm here every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, here to answer all your immigration questions in English, pero también yo hablo español. Si tiene alguna pregunta en español, I can answer that for you as well. Let me just get my camera better. But yes, my name is Attorney Michelle Perez, and I am one of the founding attorneys here at Saavedra Perez Law. As you guys know, we are on lives every Tuesday, Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Isabel Saavedra is on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, and I am on Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. We're here to answer all of your questions. Evelyn, hi, how are you? Yes, I recognize your name. Thank you so much for joining our lives. And if you have any questions, you can also ask here, but you can just call us and we'll answer your question too. Thank you, Evelyn, for showing your support. But if anybody has questions, or maybe they don't have an attorney or they're seeking an attorney, you can always call us for free consultations. Right now, we are taking free consultation to the end of April. We will reevaluate for next month. But for right now, call us quick before we start charging for our consults. Okay. We have a few questions coming in on TikTok. Let's see. Okay, so this one's in Spanish. ¿Cuánto tarde USCIS en una cita perdida de biometrics por visa U? Ok. Esta pregunta está preguntando cuánto tiempo pase para una cita de biometrics para visa U. So, Leo, de verdad depende de su lugar, pero a veces y esto es para todos los casos que para inmigración, después de entregar la aplicación, a veces está cogiendo como 2 meses, a veces yo veo 6 meses esperando para una cita por los biometrics. So, mi respuesta va a ser 2 meses hasta 6 meses, ¿ok? Y biometrics, por las personas que no saben, biometrics es cita para los fingerprints, ¿ok? Para coger las huellas. Y por todas las aplicaciones de inmigración, tiene que ir para coger las huellas, o ellos saben que usted sí es la persona que está aplicando por este beneficio de inmigración. And in English, this is for any USCIS biometrics appointment. Usually right now, I've seen as long as 6 months after submitting your application to USCIS. But it should generally come within 2 months of submitting your application. You should be receiving a notice to come and get your biometrics or your fingerprints with USCIS. And this is just verifying that you are who you say you are. For immigration purposes, they want to make sure that your fingerprints match the person and that they get your pic. Sometimes they also get your picture on that day. So right now what I'm seeing is 2 to 6 months. Okay, and then it looks like we have more questions. Okay. Nope, that's all the questions that we have. Perfect. So if nobody has any questions yet, I'll just continue. Okay, perdón, mi cita de biometrics, mi abogada nueva cita, ¿cuánto tiempo tengo que esperar? Okay, so si usted no fue a su primera cita que tenía, todo depende, de verdad. Yo sé que inmigración está tratando de poner un sistema cuando alguien no puede ir a la cita por alguna razón, que puede ir al website para conseguir una nueva cita. So, Leo, yo dice que si tiene, la abogada ya mandó el perdón para hacer nueva cita, que habla con ella porque a veces puede tomar mucho tiempo, o trata, porque hay un nuevo sistema en USCIS que puede entrar usted mismo y seguir una nueva cita para los biometrics. So, try to do that. Okay. Ok, Anthony, ¿puedo salir del país y si ya mandé la N400? Sí, Anthony, el N400 es la aplicación para ser ciudadano de los Estados Unidos y sí puede salir del país, pero está cuidado, ¿no? Porque si tiene una historia y, por ejemplo, de criminal, si tienes un delito y tratas de entrar otra vez, y tienes un delito que es deportable, usted lo puede poner en deportación. So, Anthony, si estás limpio, no tiene ningún problema, sí puedes salir del país, pero está cuidado que no es más de 6 meses. Y también, si es una historia que tiene muchos sales del país, tiene que ser cuidado porque ellos quieren a mínimo medio de su tiempo está aquí en los Estados Unidos para ser ciudadano de los Estados Unidos. Okay? And for people who are here on the English, an N400 is a citizenship application. Anthony is asking if he can leave the country if he has an N400 pending. And yes, you can. Y también, Anthony, cuando usted vaya a la entrevista, tiene que decir al oficial, tengo un nuevo viaje fuera de país. Okay? Just make sure to update the USCIS officer at your interview that you did leave the country after submitting the application. Make sure it's not more than 6 months. Make sure that your last 5 years haven't been traveling outside the United States, because there's a certain point where you become ineligible for citizenship because you've been out for too long, okay? And usually it's around the 50% mark. You have to be here. You have to show that you actually want to be living here in the United States. So for those that have residencies, but then they travel back and forth from their home country, maybe live there for 6 months, come back, live here for 6 months, I would say be careful when you're applying for your citizenship. And if you're worried and you don't know, you can call us for a free consultation and we can see if you're eligible for citizenship. Okay, we have more questions. Okay, why the interview and the embassy take so long, almost a year, and I'm a US citizen? Okay, that's a really good question. And that has multiple reasons why it's taking a long time. So it really depends on your situation. If you're a US citizen and you have petitioned for your relative, it depends on which relative you petition. So US citizens have benefits of being able to petition for spouses, children, brothers and sisters. So it depends on your category why it's taking so long. But even for US citizen spouses, a year is right on time. Because first you have to submit your petition. That petition has to get approved. Once that's approved, that petition is sent to the consulate, and that consulate or embassy in that country will determine when your interview is for the immigrant, right? Not for the US citizen. The US citizen doesn't go. And depending on that consulate, it can take 6, 8 months, a year, just depending on the backlog of that consulate. Okay. Hi, I sent adjustment of status March 8th, and my 765 was returned due to filed wrong. Do I have to pay for 765? Okay. So if this is probably going to come up a lot, Mayra, thank you for your question. This is probably going to come up a lot because USCIS changed their filing fees April 1st. And when we submitted our packages, we had big, bold letters saying, this is the correct fee. This is prior to April 1st. Do not reject. But USCIS is going to reject sometimes because sometimes they just ignore our filings, unfortunately. So if you are sure that you submitted your 765 correctly with your adjustment of status, which is your 485, you're only supposed to pay for the adjustment of status, which is $485, which is before April 1st, it was $1225. And if you submitted your work permit with your adjustment of status, that work permit was supposed to be zero. That work permit, you submitted it March 8th. It wasn't supposed to cost you anything. So if you're 100% sure you submitted it correctly, I would honestly refile the same exact rejection that you got back. And I've done this before. And I put a paper on top and says, please see supervisor, or please have supervisor review. This was filed before April 1st. And then you'll really get someone to look at that paperwork because you were correct. Okay. All right. And then we have more questions. Okay. And I just wanted to share events that are upcoming. We have a lot of in-person events that are coming up. I wanted to share with you guys. We are traveling around the East Coast, and we're super excited to be together. Isabel will be in Raleigh, North Carolina tomorrow and Saturday. So if you are in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, or maybe you're visiting for this weekend and you want to have a free consultation with Isabel Saavedra, please call our office and schedule us. We're booking fast, but we still have a few slots left. So please call us and so that you can get a spot, talk to us about your immigration case, see how we can help you. That's Raleigh. We also have a few events coming up in May. We'll be going to New York in May, specifically to a pantry, a Springs Pantry. And we'll be doing free consults for the community there. So more to come because that's coming up really soon. It's May 15th, 16th, 14th, 15th. We'll be there in New York. And then we have more dates coming up. We have the potential of Clearwater in June. We have Easton, Pennsylvania in July. Both me and Isabel will be there. So we have a lot of in-person events coming up. So don't miss the opportunity to come see us in person. And if you're a client and you're in these areas, please come say hi. We love to see our clients. We love to be able to, talk to you face to face. Even though Isabel's in Virginia and I'm in Clearwater, Florida, we'd love to see you face to face. Okay. We have a few questions on TikTok. Let me see. Okay, so we have a good question here. Sergio Gomez. I have a felony and my lawyer wants to send me to Mexico for the 6018. Is that right? This is a really good question, and you talk to the right person. A felony, it just really depends on what kind of felony you have, and it might make you inadmissible to the United States. So if it's considered a deportable offense, which there's different types, right? The normal one is the crime involving moral turpitude, and there's the aggravated felonies, okay? And those have a specific set of crimes that fall under aggravated felony. Just because yours says felony doesn't mean it's an aggravated felony. Immigration is super weird, okay? And that's why you need an immigration attorney to be able to evaluate this. So it really just depends on what type of felony you have, what state it is, and how it's categorized at that state, which takes a bit of research if it's not something that's been decided in the courts before, and if it's not in case law, basically. So it depends on your type of felony. I would call us for a free consultation. Honestly, I can try to give you honest feedback within the 30 minutes consultations to see if I can see something that's concerning. So if you do call the office, please schedule it with me, free consultation. I will try to evaluate your case within 30 minutes, and I'll see if I feel there might be some issues behind traveling for a 601A. Okay. Okay. If my mail was returned by post undeliverable, how long does USCIS take to resend? Okay. So this really depends. If your resident card was returned undeliverable, that's a big issue because Usually what happens if they can't deliver that card, sometimes they will destroy it, okay? So I would definitely call USCIS. I had this happen to a client before. They had to call the service center and they had to tell them that they moved, or maybe that was incorrect and this is their correct address. And it might take a couple months to get to you, but I would call USCIS customer service. You can also try to enter on the case inquiry online for USCIS that I did not receive a document. There's a specific area where you can click on there, and then you let them know that you've never received whatever it is, your green card, your employment card, and to tell them the situation that happened. You have maybe a little bit of space and submit that, but I would also call the call center. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, I answered Mayra's question. Okay, una pregunta, ¿cuándo es durado una petición? Mi esposo tiene 7 años de espera y yo soy residente. Ok, eso es una buena pregunta. So, el petición para su esposo y usted está un residente. Ahora mismo está cogiendo 7 años, ya tiene 7 años en espera y soy residente. Ok, ahora mismo ellos están trabajando en los casos de 2019. So esos son 5 años. So, usted tuve ya tener, si está aquí en los Estados Unidos, eso es mucho tiempo, ¿no? Pero si su esposo está fuera de país, él tuve ya tener el petición aprobado y también la entrevista. So, eso es mucho tiempo en mi opinión. Llama a nosotros para hacer una consulta, porque nosotros a veces también ayuda a las personas que tienen una petición que está tomando mucho tiempo y podemos entregar una demanda a la Corte Federal, so ellos lo pueden hacerlo más rápido. So, llama a nosotros para hacer una consulta, es gratis y nosotros podemos tratar de ayudarte, ¿ok? Gracias. Okay. Can you give us information about the bona fide determination for your visa applied in November 2023? Okay, Liz, that's a very good question. A couple of years ago, they were not even doing bona fide determinations for U visa, but now they started giving out bona fide determinations, which is also, they also submit a work permit along with those bona fide determinations. November 2023 might be too soon. I'm telling clients that new U visa taking around 2 to 3 years for the work permit is what I've been seeing. But because they're working on applications from that have been pending for a while, they're starting with those people. For example, I had a case that was filed in 2017, and she just got her work permit probably about a year and a half ago. And it came in automatically because they were automatically being issued. So I would say, Liz, that it might take another maybe year and a half, 2 years for you to get that work permit. However, you can try submitting an inquiry on USCIS and see if that moves your case a little bit. That's what I always suggest clients or anybody that doesn't have an attorney that maybe just wants to submit a simple inquiry. It never hurts to try, and it might move your case along. And if you can show that you need it for financial reasons, like for an expedite for some financial reasons, USCIS does have reasons why you can expedite a work permit. And you might want to use one of those reasons so you can try to get it faster. Okay. Let's see. We have some more questions for Michelle. I love your name. Me encanta su nombre, Michelle. Ok, tuve 2 hijos con mi esposa y ella era menor y el mayor puede arreglar su residencia sin problemas. Ok. Ok, so ya estamos casados por civil y ya tengo 18 años, perdón. Ok. Sorry, I have lots of questions and I lost the one I was just reading. Estoy buscando el pregunta de Michelle. Hold on. Okay. So, tuve 2 hijos con mi esposo. Pues el Cibar, yo tengo 18 años, lo cumplí en enero y ya nos casamos en marzo. Ok, Michelle, esa es una buena pregunta. Um, la respuesta depende, ¿ok? Si tiene 2 hijos, um, ok, usted estaba menor de edad cuando tenía los hijos, ¿no? Y él fue mayor, eso es la problema. Ok, so depende del estado que está. Puede ser algo criminal para él si tenía una novia que fue menor de edad, pero todo depende del estado que está, ¿ok? Por inmigración es diferente, ¿no? Yo tenía un caso similar algunos años pasados que yo estaba un poco preocupado de cómo inmigración va a ver en relación, ¿no? En el fin no fue problema, pero para ser seguro, usted puede llamar a nosotros, tal vez puede haber si en ese estado ya tenemos problema y también podemos arreglar la residencia de usted para usted y su esposo. So, llama a nosotros para hacer una consulta gratis. How's it taking to get a renewal on an I-90? These are taking a while. I can try to see. I'm going to tell you that they definitely are taking a while. USCIS has some processing times on their websites, but I don't believe them half of the time because they're really taking longer than they really should. So if it's a 10-year renewal, right now the processing times are saying 9 months, but I'm seeing clients that are having more than 9 months on the renewal. So USCIS says 9 months. If it's been pending for more than 9 months, what you can do is submit an inquiry, and they should be giving you a status update on what's going on. Okay, Mayra said, yes, I paid $12.25 and $4.85 was accepted, but I filed my $765 incorrect, so they returned it. You filed your $765 incorrect, so they returned it. Okay, if you filed it incorrect, you might have an issue, but it's worth, in my opinion, it's worth trying again and saying, please accept the filing date from March 8th. For whatever reason you filed the 765 incorrect, please accept it. If you didn't have signatures, they might not accept it. But if you maybe placed the wrong category, then you can try to make the argument that you filed timely because the signatures were there, the dates were there, it was just a wrong category. And see if you can get away with it, because right now I believe it's $260. So it just really depends on how much you want to fight. Do you just want to pay the $260 and just get the work permit processing? Or do you want to try to get it for free and try to submit it again and say, see supervisor review and try to get that work permit free? Do you do writ of mandamus? Yes, 305 kids, we do writ of mandamus. I've done a handful of them in South Florida. I've done them for a lot of 485s that are taking a long time at USCIS, and I've done for N400s that have wrong decisions or have been pending for too long. So yes, we do writ of mandamuses. Okay, so now I don't know, I have to pay for 765. Yeah, Maida, you might have to pay for the 765. Okay. I'm a citizen and my husband came here illegally. Do we have options? Raven, that's a really great question. That's a question I get a lot. And yes, you do have options depending on the history of your husband. So normally, if someone comes in illegally and it's your first and only entry, the process is first you do a marriage petition, you wait for that to be approved, then you do a pardon or a waiver under a 601A for that illegal entry and the unlawful presence that your husband had here in the United States. Once that gets approved, then you have to go to the consulate abroad. So he would have to fly out to his origin country, and he would have to do the interview there in that country. As long as his background is clean, there's no inadmissibility issues, there's no issues with his background. For any reason, he should be fine and he'll be able to come right back in to United States, land, and the day he lands here in the United States, he's officially a resident, and they will mail him a green card within the next 2 to 3 weeks. If he has previous entries and exits, then I would be a little bit of concerned, and I would call our offices for a free consultation to see what his options are. Because then there you might have 10-year bars, you might have permanent bars depending on his situation. So call our offices, we can have a free consultation with you and see if he qualifies for the marriage petition with the consular processing. Yes, Maida, you can. Okay. Maida, without a fee. We do writ of mandamus. They do have their own fees associated with the court. They're usually $400 to $500. Ok, tenemos una pregunta de Adriana. USCIS recibió mi aplicación en octubre por VAWA y no me llegó cita por huellas. ¿Es normal? Yes, sí, Adriana, es normal. Ahora mismo los huellas están cogiendo como 2 a 6 meses. So, es normal, no preocupes si tiene el ejército que ya lo recibió la VAWA en octubre, que no preocupes que está cogiendo mucho tiempo para los huellas. Okay, quick question. I have 2 more minutes, but I'll try to answer as many as I can. Quick question to renew I-90. Is it better online or paper applications? That's a trick question, Nora, because I prefer doing paper filing for my clients because it becomes a little bit complicated if your client is not tech savvy. But if you are tech savvy, then yes, I would do the I-90 online. Okay. If we have tech savvy clients, we can give that option to them. But usually the USCIS system is a little tricky, and it becomes a lot of back and forth to verify your information and that you verify that we're your attorneys and we can submit it on your behalf. So here at Saavedra Perez, we usually do paper filings just for that. But yes, you can do online. And right now they're making online cheaper, but not by much. But yes. Okay. 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 If you're currently filed before the price increase, then yes. Okay. I think 305 Kid is trying to help. Okay, I'm a citizen. My husband came here legally. Do we have any options? We have 1 child together. Okay, Raven, I think I answered your question in Spanish just a little bit ago. But yes, you do have options. But depending on your husband's situation, you have to go about it a different way. You might have to pedir un perdón, or you might be able to adjust in a different way where you don't need to do a marriage petition. Okay. Which form I have to file to get visa waiver porque me quitaron mi visa en 2006. Joanna, to be honest, I do not have that form information to get a visa waiver. So honestly, I would check the Department of State. They are the ones in charge of visas, so you can try to get more information depending on the country that you're from. Okay, I have one last question, and then unfortunately I have to go. But Chris, how does getting a green card through gay marriage work? Chris, exactly the same way that it does through a straight marriage. Exactly the same way. We follow the same forms, show up for the same interviews. If interviews are scheduled, there's no difference in the process. All right, I'm sorry, but I don't have any other time today to answer questions. But if you do need a free consultation, please call our office, 571-583-0791, and we can offer you free consultations till the end of April. Also, we're going to be in Raleigh tomorrow and Saturday. So if you're in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, please call us, and we're almost full. We have a few spots left, But please call us if you're in that area. We will be in New York in May, and we'll be in Easton, Pennsylvania in July. And we're always in Clearwater and Fairfax, Virginia, but we'll be doing some events in June in Fairfax. I'll be traveling over there to see Isabel Saavedra in person, and we're going to be taking some photos and doing some marketing stuff on together. So if you're in those areas, give us a call, let us know. We can schedule you so that you can see us in person, and we can just say hi if you don't need a consult, right? Well, thank you for the time, for all the questions today. I hope I was able to answer enough for everybody, and have a great day.